أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to the class again. I'm getting a bit behind schedule today, so still a few things. So Zil Hajj Mubarak to everyone, inshallah. So today is the first Zil Hajj almost in every part, but yeah, some few countries may be different, of course. But if you're starting a Zil Hajj, it's a great month, and make full use of it. This is the time that you really want to make use of. So Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that there's no other 10 days that he liked more than the 10 days of Zil Hajj. Wa alaikum assalam, Talha, how are you doing? Everything okay with you? So these 10 days, just make the best out of it. Treat them as the last Ashra of Ramadan. That's something you should try to do. All of us should try to do. First for me, and then for anyone else, of course. So just mind that this is something we need to take seriously, and also connect a bit more. It's a good time to connect a bit more to the Quran, and also try to recite it more, try to understand it more, all of that stuff. Just spend your time with the Quran as much as you can, and inshallah, these 10 days will be very beneficial for you. So. So what we are going to do today. So yesterday, as always, we're going to revise some few things that we did yesterday. I hope you got a chance to reflect on the Surah Nas that we did, and also some new concepts. I will go through the new concepts again very quickly, so we are all on the same page. And then I will jump into some exercises. Today there is a lot of exercise. Let's see how many we can do, and if possible, I will move into a new topic as well about the fails. That will open up a bit more context to you about fails, inshallah. Okay, so we are well advanced with the fail, with the past tense fail. We need to still do the other forms, but inshallah we're good. Okay, so if there are any questions on the exercises, please do bring them in. I will try to answer them as best as I can. Okay, so let me share my screen with you as usual, and you should be able to see it soon. Okay, wait a second, give me a second. Yep, so we should be good with the screen sharing. I can see what you can see as always, so I just want to make sure that you can also see. So I will inshallah revise. We're gonna construct the fail chart now. I'm assuming that you're comfortable with the fail chart, the past tense fail, and as you know, we're studying the past tense fail now, and the past tense fail. We have done the chart so far. What have we done? Past tense fail. This is what we have been. We have been doing past tense fail. So we have done the full chart, right? Then the full chart of the past tense fail. We have done the overall concept of the fail as well. Of course, we have done the concept of the fail, concept of fail in Arabic, right? And in Arabic, and we have seen how it is different from the verb, right? The verb of English language. So we have seen how it is different from the verb of English language. So effectively, it's an action plus doer of action. This is the fail for us. Yes, that's what we have done. That's the concept of fail. So every fail is in itself a full-blown jumla fi'liya. It's a full-blown sentence that we also discussed very briefly. In the fail sentences, we will go in more detail later on. Okay, this is the point in time. I just want to give you a flavor, just a high-level view of what a fail-based sentence is. We'll do that inshallah in detail. And then we did the full chart. And after the full chart, we did some exercises. And also, yesterday we started the concept of attaching pronouns to fi'l. Okay, attaching pronouns to fi'ls. Okay, that's what we started. And in that sense, we said there are two forms. There are two ways pronouns are used with fi'ls. Two ways pronouns are used with fi'ls. Okay, two ways. Let me say. Two ways pronouns are used with fi'l. Okay, with fi'l, and then we said the first way is as inside doer, which every fi'l comes. Walaikum assalam, Imran. Every fi'l comes with an inside doer, which is an inside pronoun hidden in the fi'l. This is a default. This is a default positioning of fi'l. This is a default behavior of fi'l. Okay, and then there is an attached pronoun. Attached pronoun is an attached pronoun to a fi'l, which we said is a is a detail about the action. It's a detail about the action, okay? Which we in Arabic yesterday called maf'ul very briefly. Okay, in Arabic we called maf'ul very briefly. Okay. Yes. Give me a second. Maf'ul. We called it maf'ul yesterday, very briefly. Okay, and we were looking at how we can actually decode the attached pronouns. In this attached pronoun case, we also discussed yesterday that every pronoun attached to a fi'l is in what status? You remember that? Every pronoun attached to a fi'l is always which status? You remember that? It's always nasab. Every pronoun attached to a fi'l is always nasab, whereas every pronoun attached to an ism is always jar. Yeah? So every pronoun attached to an ism is always jar, and every pronoun attached to a fi'l is always nasab. Okay? This is what we did. It's a good point in time to go back to your notes on page 19. We left something out on page 19, if you remember. If you remember, we left something out on page 19. You should be able to see my screen here. Okay? So the question, an attached pronoun is nasab in two cases. An attached pronoun is nasab in two cases. Yes? Number one, when attached to a harf of nasab, that's what we did already, right? Number two, we did not do because we were waiting for exactly this time. When it is attached to a fi'l, this is the second condition you may want to write down in your notes, okay? When it is attached to a fi'l. When it is attached to a fi'l, okay? Just write it down in your notes. When attached to a fi'l, okay? Now that completes your entire page. An independent pronoun is always rafa. Attached pronoun is in nasab in two cases, when it is attached to the harf of nasab and attached to a fi'l. An attached pronoun is jar in two cases, when attached to an ism, which is yes, to a harf of jar. Okay, so I could not tell you this at that time because you wouldn't understand, because you hadn't done the fails, right? So that's why I had to keep it for this time. So now that you know, we can fill it in. So please do fill it in, inshallah. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah. So this is what we also did. So every fi'l that has an attached pronoun, that attached pronoun is nasab. Okay. And then we have also done, as I said before, every fi'l is a full jumla fi'liya. Jumla fi'liya. Huh? Every fi'l is a full-blown jumla fi'liya. Okay? And Jumla Fi'liya has few parts. Jumla Fi'liya has few parts. We did those parts, right? Let's construct that table very quickly yesterday that we did. Okay? So I've brought this table here. So let's quickly construct it, inshallah. Okay? So we said Jumla Fi'liya has Jumla Fi'liya has B, oops, A, A, B, C, and D. Okay, these parts. The first part in the Jumla Fi'liya is, let me just reduce the font size a little bit here. Okay. The first part in the Jumla Fi'liya is the fi'il itself. Fi'il, that is an action, okay, which is action. The second part is the fa'il, if you remember. What was the fa'il? What was the fa'il? It's a doer of an action. Okay, doer of action. And then we had the maf'ul. I gave this to you yesterday, but we did not go in too much of a detail of everything, right? So I just gave you this chart yesterday. Yes, fa'il is a doer of an action. Correct. Maf'ul was the detail about action. Okay, detail about action. Okay, and then we had muta'alliq bil fi'il. Muta'alliq bil fi'il. Okay. Muta'alliq bil fi'il, which is information about detail. Oh, sorry, information about the action. Okay, some additional information about the action. Okay, okay, or even the detail. Some extra information about the action or a detail. Okay, this is what we did. We called them A, B, C, and D to differentiate from the ism, so the Jumla Ismiyah. Okay, and we said the A and B are mandatory. These are mandatory. Every Jumla Fi'liya must have the A and B, the Fi'il and the Fa'il, the action and the doer. This is mandatory. Okay, this is not optional. Whereas the maf'ul is optional. Keep on writing in Arabic. Optional. Whereas, and also the muta'alliq bil fi'il is also optional. Okay? A fi'il-based sentence can exist without a maf'ul and a muta'alliq bil fi'il, but it cannot exist without the fi'il and the fa'il. Okay? It cannot exist without it. Okay? That's what we did. So when you say nasara, you get already the fi'il and the fa'il. Okay? You already get the fi'il and the fa'il. Okay? Let me write it here. Nasara. You already have he helped. So he is the B. He is the B, the fa'il, and helped is the A, which is action, right? Help is the A, which is action. Okay. Then maf'ul. In this case, we were discussing attaching pronouns. Attaching pronouns. Okay. So if I attached a pronoun, let's say ha, if I attach a pronoun ha, this is going to be in nasab state. This is going to be in nasab state. Okay. This is going to be in nasab state, effectively meaning them both. Them both. Okay, keeping it masculine, assuming it masculine. So nasaraha would mean them both. He helped them both, or he helped both of them, whatever you want to call it, whatever language construct you want to build. Okay, so this is how we did it. We left out the muta'alliq bil fail for now. We'll do that inshallah later on. Okay, and then we did the thinking process. We did a thinking process. Thinking process. Oops, again, Arabic. Thinking process. What was a thinking process? We said, okay, whenever we see a fail, what we are going to do is identify and ignore the pronoun, the attached pronoun, not the pronoun, attached pronoun. That's the step one. Identify and ignore the attached pronoun, which in this case was ha, right? And then we go and translate the fi'l by itself. Then we go and translate the fi'l by itself. Then we go and translate the attached pronoun by itself. And then finally, what we would do is bring them all together. Bring them all together. Okay, that's the thinking process we did. Let me move the chart to the next page. It's bothering. Okay. This was our thinking process to decode the attached pronouns. There were some tips that I also mentioned. One of the tip was regarding there's not the tip, really, an exception I mentioned yesterday. Exception for attaching pronouns. Exception for attaching pronouns. Okay, that was the exception. So I said when you have a fail ending with tum, okay, when you have a fail ending with tum, when I keep on typing in Arabic, why? When we have a fail ending with tum, when we have a fail ending with tum, okay. For example, nasartum, okay, nasartum, okay? Which is the antum version of nasartum. Yes. Oh yes, you're right. Sorry, Imran, my mistake. Ha isn't. I was thinking huma and I wrote ha. So you're right. So let's keep it her or it. Let's keep it. Good point. Good catch. Okay. So it's her or it. Okay. We said that the attached version of hiya and huwa can be translated as him or it, or her or it. Yes. Yes. Thank you for telling me. That was just a typo. Yeah. Okay. Good. So exception. What was the exception? When attaching a pronoun to a fi'l that ends with tum. For example, nasartum. Okay. When we have this case. Is this me? Yes. So we will prolong the ending sound of the fi'l with a waw, okay? We will prolong the ending sound of the fi'l with a waw. The ending sound is prolonged with an oo sound, which effectively is a waw. effectively is a verb. Okay? For example, we say Nasr, we said, let me construct an example. Nasr, Nasartumuna. Okay? Nasartumuna. Nasartumuna. Okay? So it's nasartum with an attached pronoun of na. It's a nasartum with an attached pronoun of na, whereby you have added a vowel in the middle to prolong the sound of the fi'il in the end. Okay? You will not write nasartumna. You will not write nasartumna. Okay? That's wrong. Okay? You will not write nasartumna. Nasar. Nasar. Nasartum na is wrong. Okay? Nasartum na is wrong. Okay? This is not right. Something seriously going wrong here with me. Okay. Yeah. Nasartum and then na is wrong. If you won't write it like this. Nasartum na. This is not something you would do. Okay? Is this clear? Is this clear? So just keep that in mind. It's only an exception when the fail ends, when the fail ends with a tum. When the fail ends with a tum and you have to attach a pronoun, you would attach a pronoun by prolonging its sound by adding a vowel. Okay? A u sound. Okay? Nasartumuna. So if you say see nasartumuna or something like allam tumuna or something like that, don't get confused, because you may be thinking, hey, we don't have any ending like that. Okay? We don't have any ending like that. We do, but there's an exception. So when you have a tum ending, you add a vowel and then attach a pronoun. Okay? This is what we have done yesterday, all of it. Okay? This is what we have done yesterday, all of it. Okay? Now, what we want to do today is a bit go through the exercise that we have since yesterday we started, and then see what is missing. Is this, and if there's anything that you need to ask, any further questions, anything confusing. If not, then we'll move on to the next topic about the fails as well, which is one level up. Okay, we will go one level up. Okay. So give me one, please, if you're okay so far with what we have done. Are you okay so far with this? Is there any confusion on this? If there's any specific questions or any conceptual confusion, let me know, and inshallah, I will try to explain that. Good. So if not, then let's move to the exercise. So if you try to do the exercise at home, you should be able to do some of these, if not all. So let's see if you have any specifics. If we could pick on any specific one. Let me check. How about number 8? Have you done number 8? Have you done number 8? This one. Have you done number 8? So how can I translate this fail? How can I translate? I'm just looking at the fail. I don't want to translate the full-blown sentence, full-blown Arabic script if I cannot. That's fine. Just the translation of this fail. The meaning is given. Can you help me with the translation of this fail? Waswasa, fawaswasa. Okay, to whisper evil suggestions. What we need to do is identify an inside pronoun and then just translate it. And just translate it. Okay. So what I'm looking at is a fail that is ending with a fatha. Okay, it's ending with a fatha here, and I need to map it to the fail chart, the past tense fail chart, to see where does it fit really. Okay? Where does it fit really? So any suggestions on that? Where does it fit? This is in my view a huwa past tense fail nasara. It's like nasara. Waswasa. It's like nasara. Yes, correct. So when you take nasara and you apply to this fail, then you have the meaning, and you need to translate this meaning into a past tense fail. The fail means to whisper evil suggestions. How would I translate this? I would say he whispered evil suggestions. Okay, this is how I would do it, because I need to bring the file in. I need to bring the file in, which is the he, the doer of an action. I already have an action as a description. Correct. Yes, Talha, that's right. Absolutely right. Okay, that's what we are doing in this exercise exactly. So any other, let's say, let's do number 9. Let's do number 9. Let's do number 9. I do number 9 because it has an attached pronoun to it. It has an attached pronoun to it, which is huma, right? And I want us to apply that process that we have learned. Apply the process that we have learned. So sama is the, and it means to swear to someone. Okay, to swear to someone. And huma is an attached pronoun. Okay. Now we have a process to think. First, we do what? We separate the two. We separate the two and ignore the attached pronoun. We just ignore the attached pronoun. I'm not looking at this huma right now. Okay, I'm not. All I'm looking at is kasama, and I know kasama means to swear to someone. I need to find the inside pronoun of kasama. Where do you think it fits in the Nasara chart? In the past, which word? It's hua, correct. So if I know it's hua, then I go second step, translate the fail by itself. I say he swore to someone. Okay, to someone. First step done. Okay, then I pick the huma, which is the attached pronoun. Now I'm picking this attached pronoun, this one. Right? Now I'm picking this one, huma, and huma is both of them. Okay? Both of them, right? Then I translate both of them and put it in front. Okay, and put it in front. Just bear with me what I'm doing. Both of them. And when I read the entire sentence, he swore to someone, both of them, it does not make sense to me. To make sense, leave this one out. To someone. I just cut the to someone, right? Because in English, I need to make sense, not the both, only the someone, right? I just cut the someone out to in English to make sense, right? He swore to both of them. Then it makes sense to me. Okay? Right? So yes, Imran, you're right, but it's not just them; it's both of them. Right. Which one should we do now? Okay. Let me pick that up. Let's pick up number 4. Let's pick up number 4. I'm looking at number 4. Okay. Makkanakum, to settle someone or something. So again, the same process. We separate the attached pronoun and ignore it. I'm ignoring the attached pronoun and I'm looking at this side. Okay. Makkana, I can equally see it ends in a na with alif, noon with alif, which is a nahnu ending, right? Which is a nahnu ending. So I'm going to translate this as settled, we settled someone or something, right? We settled someone or something. This is not ana. This is not ana, Imran. It's nahnu. Probably you mistyped it. Yes, I know you know. Mistyped it. Yes, it's nahnu. So we would tell someone or something, and then we go and pick up a pronoun, the attached pronoun, which is kum. Kum is an attached version of antum, which means you. So I front. We settled you. Okay, and that you is effectively someone or something, right? That you is effectively someone or something. Okay. Is there any specific one here that is problematic for you? Do you want me to do any specific one? I don't want to fill it. I want you to do it. So if there's any specific one that is bothering you, tell me, and we'll cover it here. Otherwise, we'll move forward. I really want you to spend some time doing this. Okay. Okay. Give me one if you are okay to move forward. Okay to move forward from this exercise? So I know, and we can cover some of the stuff. It's pretty simple. Given the learnings you guys have already made in mashallah, it's pretty simple for you. Okay. Now on the next page, exactly the same exercise, but but pitched differently on page 37. So what you need to do is just fill in the blanks. Okay. The first blank is more about introducing the inside pronoun, and the second blank is more about translating the attached pronoun. Okay, attached pronoun. So like this one, khalaqakum, khalaqakum. Now khalaqa, what I'm doing here, effectively, what I'm doing is I'm first separating khalaqa, and I'm identifying the inside pronoun of khalaqa and translating the fi'il. The failed translation is already given to me on the right hand side. It's already said created. Khalaqa means created. I just need to find the inside pronoun, the inside doer. So I'm going to say he and the translation of the action is already there, and then kum I'm going to pick up and I'm going to say, okay, kum is you, he created you. It's as simple as that. Okay, correct. It's as simple as that. Okay, so just complete this exercise. I think so. I don't think we need to go here in detail in this exercise. Pretty simple. Give it a shot. If you're not able to do something, but I'm pretty sure you'll be quite okay with it. Make sure you make sense out of things as well. Okay, make sure you make sense out of things as well. Okay. For example, let me do number 6 here for you. Let me do number 6 here for you. Okay, so then we have translations here already given. So there is then, which is fa. Okay, and then there is made, which is the ja'ala. Ja'ala means to make, and it's ends with ja'alna. Ja'alna, which is telling me the inside pronoun, right? It's telling me the inside pronoun, which is nahnu in this case. So I'm going to say then we made. Now ha is an attached version of hiya, as you know. Okay, it could be her or it could be it. It could be her or it could be it. Now, depending upon the context, you will use one of these. If it is talking about, let's say, an animal, you would say it. If it's talking about a person, you would probably say her. Okay, so just make sense out of it. Just make sense out of it. That context, just write. Okay, so that's how just make sense out of things when you do this exercise. Okay, good. So again, give me one if you're okay to do it yourself. Can I move forward, or you want me to cover a few extra here? Give me one if you're okay for me to move forward and leave this exercise for you to solve. And next time, inshallah, we can look into if there's something which is bothering you or not clear, inshallah. Okay. The more you do yourself, the more you will, inshallah, get better at this. Good, 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 excellent. This is the same exercise, nothing changed. It's a long exercise. It's about 35 fi'ls here. So you have the entire next week. Spend some time, inshallah. Inshallah, six lines per day would give you 30 in a week. Yeah. So if you just solve 6 a day or 7 a day, you're done by the next class. Okay. Then I need to jump into another topic, so I can give you a bit more context about the fail. Don't open your notes yet. In your notes, you jump into the present tense topic. I don't want to jump into the present tense topic yet. I want to give you something else first. Okay, so let's bear with me. So what we have done so far in the fail that we have summarized above is we have come to know that there is a fail, and fail has a inside doer, right? The fail has an inside doer. We have done the inside doer of the fail. We have done the inside doer of the fail so far. This means I can write sentences like he or he ate or she wrote and so on. Yeah? That's all inside doer. These are all inside pronouns. These are all inside pronouns that are hidden in the fails. Okay, and I've learned the technique to identify those inside pronouns. Okay, I've learned the techniques to identify the inside pronouns. Okay, but how about let me move to the next page. How about if I want to say Muhammad helped? Muhammad helped. Now the doer of an action is very, very clear, right? It's not a third person. It's a person's name. Muhammad helped. Or Ali ate. Or Amina wrote. How would I say all of that? Okay, this is a concept. This is a concept that introduces something which is called an outside doer. An outside doer. There's an inside doer which is default. There's an inside doer which is default, but then there's an outside doer which is not default, but can come and overrides the inside doer. So when an outside doer comes, it overrides the inside doer. Okay, it it just takes the authority of inside doer away, and you have to treat that fail in a, you have to identify the outside doer a bit differently, and it's very, very easy. It's very easy. Okay. Now let me take a fail and construct an example for you. So if I say kataba, kataba, kataba means he wrote. Let me move it here. Kataba means he wrote. He wrote. Okay. Now, if I want to say, if I want to say Muhammad wrote, Muhammad wrote, what does it change? What does it change? Because in kataba, I know there's an inside pronoun which is huwa. So I brought the he. It's a default form, right? So if I want to say Muhammad wrote, I need to take care of few rules. I need to remember few rules. Okay? Let me give you those rules first. They're just two rules, effectively. Two rules you need to remember, okay? Rules for the outside doer. This is what I'm giving you right now, okay? Rules for the outside doer. Rule number one. For an outside doer like Muhammad, because Muhammad here is not a pronoun. Only pronoun can be inside of fail, nothing else. Only pronoun can be inside of fail, nothing else. Because Muhammad in itself is a full-blown word, it has to live somewhere outside of the pronoun. So for an outside doer, rule number one is that the fail should be in singular form. Should be in singular form, okay? Singular form, which is only huwa and hiya, okay? In the huwa and hiya form, okay? For an outside doer, a fail would always be in a huwa or hiya form. Okay, huwa or hiya form only. Okay, it cannot be anta or anti. Okay, it cannot be ana. Okay, it has to be huwa or hiya. Okay, so if you see a fail in a huwa or a hiya form, your job is now including another task. You are first identifying the inside pronoun, but now you will also look if there is a possibility of having an outside doer. Okay, as soon as you see a fail in the huwa and hiya form, you should always look for an outside doer as well. Okay, because if it exists, then you need to know. Okay. Right? That's rule number one. That's rule number one. Rule number two. Rule number two. In fact, I'll give you three rules to make it even simpler for you. Not two rules, three rules, because this way it would be easier for you to remember. So the outside doer, which is what we call file. I'm just using this terminology explicitly here because I want us to start using these terminologies. You guys are now seniors in Arabic. Okay? Fa'il. The outside doer, fa'il. And inside doer is also fa'il, of course. Okay? Must come after the fi'il. Okay? It cannot come before it. It cannot come before it. It must come after the fi'il. So anything before the fi'il cannot be an outside doer. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Okay? Rule number 2. Rule number 3, and the last rule. Last rule. The outside doer, the outside doer must be rafa. Outside doer must be rafa. Okay? That's it. These are the 3 rules. These are the 3 rules. When you see a fail in a huwa or a hiya form, then you should look for an outside doer as well. Okay? And if you find an ism, outside doer would always be an ism. It cannot be another fa'il, right? Doer is a doer. It's an ism always. Fa'il is always an ism. Okay? It cannot be a fa'il. So if you find an ism after the fa'il in singular hiya or huwa form, which is in rafa state, then it's highly likely that it is an outside doer. Okay? Let me construct the same example. We said Muhammad wrote. I want to construct this example. Let me take this example from here and put it here. Muhammad wrote. Okay. Now I want to construct this example in Arabic. He wrote is called kathaba. Kathaba. He wrote is called kathaba, right? And if I just write kathaba, I'm done. It means he wrote. But I want to say Muhammad wrote. Okay? Muhammad wrote. So first thing I'm going to check is the rule number 1. Is this fi'l in hiya or huwa form? My answer is yes. It is huwa. Right? That's why I'm saying he wrote. It's huwa. Okay, so before I go on and start translating it into he wrote, I'm just going to go forward. And let's say there's an ism in front of it that's called Muhammad. Muhammadun. Muhammadun. Okay? And before I say before I say that he kataba means he wrote, I'm going to go and look for an ism in front of it. If there is an ism, number 1, in rafa state, and I found one in rafa state, which is Muhammad. This tells me that this kataba, the inside pronoun of the kataba, this ism Muhammadun goes to the huwa and said, huwa, I am now the outside doer and I rule the kataba. You just go and sit on the side. Okay? I'm going to be the outside doer. You cannot be anymore because I came. So when outside doer comes, it overrides the inside doer. And when you go and translate this, you would translate it as Muhammad wrote. You would always translate the fa'il first. Fa'il first. Okay? Muhammad wrote. Okay? You understand? Another example. Let me take the same fi'il. Let me take the same fi'il. Okay? Katabat. Katabat Aminatun. Let me just give a sec. Katabat Aishatun. Yeah? Let me say, yeah. Just leave it like this. Okay? Katabat Aishatun. Now, katabat is a hiya form of the same fi'il, isn't it? Nasarat. And as soon as I see the katabat, I'm not going to say she wrote. I'm going to go forward and try to find if there is an ism. If there is an ism, that is in Rafa state. Okay? That is in Rafa state. Okay? And I find an ism Aisha. Aisha, I'm probably missing a ya here somewhere. I'm missing out the spelling of it. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So I found an ism Aisha, which is in a Rafa state, and it comes after the fail. So all three rules apply. Number one, the fail is in hiya form. Number two, there is the doer that I'm looking at, Aisha, is after the fail, and it's also in rafa. So when I go and translate it, I'm gonna pick up the doer first. I'm gonna say Aisha wrote. I'm gonna say Aisha wrote. Okay, I'm not gonna say she wrote, because now the hiya inside the kataba is overridden. Is overridden. Is this clear? Any questions? Are we okay with this? Tell me, give me one if you're okay with this. If there's any confusion, please tell me. Good. Excellent. You have read many things like this in the Quran. You just didn't know it was an outside door. For example, you have read qala. You've read qala. Qala Ibrahim. Qala Ibrahim. Qala Ibrahim. You've read things like this in the Quran. Qala Ibrahim. Okay? And if I say qala means he said. Qala means he said. It's a nasara form with huwa inside. But then you have an ism after it, which is Ibrahimu, a rafa. Okay? It's an ism after it in rafa. Okay? So it will override the inside doer of the kala. How should I translate this? How should I translate this? What is the translation of this statement? Qala Ibrahim. Remember, when you translate, always translate the fa'il first, the doer first. Okay? If you translate the doer first, just like you said he helped or he wrote, you're always pointing out the inside doer, right? Now you have the outside doer concept. When you translate, always translate the outside doer first. Okay? So you would translate as Ibrahim said. Ibrahim said. Okay? That's what you're going to say. Now, there's another thing I need to tell you before I move on to some practice of this. That the outside doer could be singular, pair, or plural. The outside doer could be singular, pair, or plural. Okay? The outside doer could be singular, pair, or plural. Okay? but it does not affect the rule number one. Okay, but it does not change the rule number one, meaning the fail would still be in a huwa or hiya form, whereas the doer would be plural. So don't think you have to do nasaru and then bring a plural doer. No, you can stay with nasara and then you can bring a plural doer. For example, I can say here nasara muslimuna. Nasara muslimuna. Okay? Now nasara is a huwa form of the fi'l. Nasara is the huwa form of the fi'l. Okay, and you would expect normally a doer which is a huwa, which is a singular too, because nasara is also huwa, which is singular, but that's not the case here. So the fail must be in huwa or hiya form, but the doer could be singular, pair, or plural. Okay, when you go and translate this, you would say Muslims helped. Muslims helped, because muslimuna is in rafa. Okay, the number of the doer is kind of irrelevant here in terms of identifying the outside doer. Okay, this would be Muslims help. That's equally applicable if you have, let's say, nasara. One page. That's equally applicable if you say nasara muslimun. Mhm. That would mean Muslim help. Okay, you see the difference? See the difference? You have nasara in both cases. It's not changing, right? It's not changing. It's still huwa form, but the doers, the fa'ils, are singular in one case and plural in another. Okay, so having a fa'il in a plural or singular pair does not change the need of the fa'il to be in huwa or hiya. If the fa'il was a feminine like muslimatun, then you would have nasarat instead. Okay, and you would have nasarat instead. Okay, so all of this is summarized in your notes on page number 43. Can we move to page number 43 in your notes? Page number 43 in your notes. So if you read through it, it says inside doer versus the outside doer. Okay, you have all of this in your notes. If the doer of the fi'l is a pronoun, then it's an inside doer. Yes, that's a default condition. That's a default condition. I'm reading this. Okay, it's a default condition here. So inside doer. Okay, if the doer is not a pronoun, it is an outside doer. Yes, like Muhammad wrote. We just did. And their rules, they have given you rules in two ways. Okay, I've given you three rules just to make them simpler. Whatever way works for you, just make use of them. So to have an outside doer, the outside doer must come after the fail. After, good point that I've missed out. They can't tolerate a long distance relationship, right? So an outside doer can be after certain words. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Okay, but just look for it. Just look for it. Okay, and the outside doer would always state be in a rafa state. Okay, the fi'l must be in huwa or hiya form only. The fail must be in huwa or hiya form only. Okay, and then let's look at some examples. Look at some examples. Okay, a Muslim said, Qala Muslimun. So what I'm looking here is Qala is huwa. Qala is huwa form. And I'm looking at an ism right after it, which is in Rafa. Yes? So this is going to override huwa. This is going to override huwa. Okay, it's going to say huwa, no, I cannot allow you because now I'm here. Okay, so you go away and I'm going to become the doer. Okay, and you translate the doer first and then you translate the action. Okay, just like you were doing in a standard fi'ils. Okay, so you see the translation, it says a Muslim said. Muslim said. A counterpart example with feminine. The same fi'il, the same fi'il, the same fi'il, but in a feminine case. Qalat. Qalat is the same fi'il in a feminine case, which is a hiya version. And this time you have hiya. And as we know, if you find a fi'il in a hiya or a huwa form, you should always look and try to see if there's an outside doer as well. And then you went forward and you found muslimatun. Why muslimatun and not muslimun? Because qalat is here. Okay, so the form of the fail will map to the gender of the doer. Yes, you cannot have a masculine fail pointing to okay, you won't have this here. You would always have a doer which is here too, which is feminine too, right? And you translate the outside doer first, a Muslim woman, and then you said. Okay, Muslim woman said. Okay. Now this is a similar example. This time with the same huwa form of the fi'il, but you have Muslimani. Muslimani. It's not singular anymore. It's a pair. It's a pair, right? It's a pair. Now the doer is in Rafa. Muslimani is Rafa according to the Muslim chart, but it's pair and it's coming with a singular form of the fi'il, huwa. So the rule number one that we did, that a fail has to be in huwa or hiya form, it does not change because of the number of the doers. Okay, it just remains the same. You would say two Muslims said. Two Muslims said. In case of feminine, exactly the same thing applies, but in case of feminine, it's qalat, as you would imagine, in a hiya case. And instead of muslimani, you have muslimatani, Muslim chart, muslimni. And then Muslim woman said. Okay? Hiya does not change, hiya remains. And this is the case of plural. I think this is what we did just now. Qala is huwa form, and then you have a plural, muslimuna. Plural case. So doer is now plural, but the fi'il remains the same. It's huwa. And then you say Muslims said. Feminine is the same case. Qalat is here, and you have muslimatun, which is because in muslimatun chart, the rafa plural was muslimatun, wasn't it? It was muslimatun. And then you would say Muslims, feminine in this case, said. Okay? It's pretty simple. It's not it's not complex. It's not complex. It's just simple. Okay? Good. let's try and practice few things a lot clearer, inshallah, if they're not. So give me one if you are okay so far. I sense some silence. Are you finding it complex? Give me one if you're not finding it too complex. Give me two if you are finding it complex. What is your position right now? Is this something confusing, or is it clear enough? From my point of view, it's quite pretty simple topic. I remember when I did it first, it was not very difficult to get hold of, really. Good. So inshallah, when we do practice, it will become even more clear. So what we need to do in this exercise, we need to see if there is an outside doer, and if there is one, we need to find which one is it. Okay. If there is an outside doer, and if there is one, then we need to find which one is it. Okay. All right, let's start here. Okay, no, I'm gonna skip few fails here because what they've done is they've mixed the past tense and the present tense. So I'm gonna do only the past tense ones here. Okay, so let me highlight which ones we can do. We can do number 2. We can do 5. We can do 7. We can do 10. We can do 11. We can do 12. We can do 14. We can do 15. We can do 20. We can do 21. We can do 24. We can do 23. Yeah. So the ones I have highlighted, if you want to mark in your exercise, if you want to mark in your exercise, these are the ones that we can. The other ones, I would not recommend because we have not done the present tense fail. Okay. Once we have done after this is actually present tense fail, so it's not far away. So one more class, and then we're done with the present tense fail. Okay. So we'll come back to this exercise again. So for now, let's stick to the ones that I've identified here. So let's start with the number 2. وَدَخَلَ جَنَّةُ. Tell me, first you need to tell me if there is an inside doer here, and if you find an outside doer, which one is it? To do that, you need to first decode the fail. Which fail is it? Is it huwa or hiya? And if it is huwa or hiya, you need to see if there is an ism in rafa in front of it that you can call an outside doer. Okay. So what do you think? Correct. It's a huwa form of nasara. It's a huwa form of nasara. That's correct. So I can say inside doer definitely is huwa. Yes. Jannatahu. Doer. Is that what I'm saying? Who? Look closely. It's Jannatahu. Jannatahu. So if it was jannatu, I would agree with you. If it was jannatu, I would agree with you. But what I'm looking is essentially not the word which is jannatu, meaning the heaven. I'm looking at a word which is jannata and an attached pronoun to it, which is who. And an attached pronoun, which is who. Two words. Two words. You see that? Jannata is the one word, and who is an attached pronoun. And an idafa here. Looking at an idafa here. Right after dakhala is jannata, which is nasab, not rafa. Pronoun to jannata, which is jar. Yes. So I cannot say jannata is an outside doer. It's not. So there is no outside doer in this one. Yeah. Although from the face of it, immediately if you find a dhamma and you can say, oh, it's an outside doer. But no, look closely. Look closely. Yeah. Let's go number 5. Let's go number 5. Qala Musa. Qala Musa. So qala is a past tense. I've highlighted it that we can do it here. And we have just done it that it's a hua form, right? It's a hua form. Hua, I need to look for an outside doer, an ism in rafa. An ism in rafa. And what I encounter is the ism Musa, which is even more of a botheration for me because it's inflexible, because it's an inflexible. It does not tell me the status, right? It does not tell me the status. Yes. So if it could be, it is. If it could be, it is. So therefore, outside doer. Okay. So we'll say Musa said, we found an outside doer. Okay. Number 7. Number 7. Qalu rabbukum. Qalu rabbukum. What's happening here? Qalu rabbukum. So what is qalu? Let's decode qalu first. Qalu. What do you think? What do you think? Qalu is, it's a past tense. It's a past tense. It's a past tense. And it's whom. Correct. It's whom. It's whom. It's nasaru. Correct. Nasaru. And I have an ism after it in rafa. I have an ism after it in rafa. What should I do with this? Should I do anything with this? It's idafa, right? Rabbukum. Idafa. Although I have an ism, I have an ism right after it in rafa, can I call it an outside doer? I cannot call it an outside doer. This is whom is doer. Okay? Because of whom. If it was huwa or hiya, I would call it outside doer, but it's not. Okay, so I cannot call it outside doer. So there is no outside doer here. Okay. Good. MashaAllahu. Now you know MashaAllah. You say MashaAllah all the time. MashaAllah all the time. Okay. This is MashaAllah. Okay. MashaAllah. So sha'a is a past tense fi'l. Sha'a is a past tense fi'l. Sha'a means he willed. He willed. Or sometimes also translated from to make sense in English as wills. Okay, or wishes, or something like that. Okay. Ma is whatever. Whatever. Now I look at sha'a and I can immediately map it to the huwa form of nasara. Nasara huwa, correct. And I go forward and I find an ism in the rafa. So the word Allah, the lafzul jalala, is going to be the outside doer. Okay, outside doer. And when I translate it, I would say whatever Allah wills or willed. Okay, wills is to make sense of it. Okay, so I translate the outside doer first. Okay, let's do number 11. Number 11. كيف فعل ربك؟ كيف فعل ربك؟ Now fa'ala is, it's very simple. Fa'ala is which pronoun? It's nasara, isn't it? It's huwa. It's huwa. So what should I do? Do I have an outside doer or not? I need to go forward and start looking for it. I need to go forward and start looking for it, for an outside doer to exist. So when I go, is an ism called Rabbu, which is in Rafa. Yes, but at the same time, keep this in mind. But at the same time, this Rabbu is connected to Ka, isn't it? It's an idafa too, yeah, right? I cannot disconnect Rabbu from Ka. I cannot disconnect Rabbu from Ka. So I'm going to pick up the whole thing. I'm going to pick up the whole thing and I'm going to call it an outside doer. Okay? Because I cannot disconnect them. I just cannot take a piece and say, this is outside doer. I have to take the whole fragment. Fa'ala means he did. He did. Kaifa is like how. Rabbuka is your master. Yes. So if you translate it, how your master did. How your master did. Okay. Okay. So because we already have few in the past tense, I don't want to do all of them here. So we still have 8 minutes. If you agree, I could close the class for now and let you solve these yourself over the week. And then the next class when we come, we will do the present tense and we'll jump onto this exercise again. Okay. because if I solve it, I don't want to take your thunder. I just want you to practice this yourself as well. And at this point in time, I don't want to start a new topic too. Okay. So what I'll do is I suggest that we close the class now a bit early, few minutes, and let you solve this. And in the next class, inshallah, we come together and we review this and answer any questions if we have. Okay. Good. Excellent. So great. Thank you very much for joining again. So I hope it was clear to you what we explained today. And inshallah, next class we will also discuss the present tense fi'il. It's an important topic, very important topic. There's another chart coming, inshallah. After that, we will be very good with the fi'il and the ism, and then we'll start working on the jumla fi'iliya a bit more detailed. Okay, so until then, remember me in your du'as, make full use of the Zilhijjah, and inshallah I'll see you next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.